Listen, man, I don't know what it was, but ask anybody that was on the Florida State team. That Whataburger on the plane, it was different. Like, I don't know what they did. It was crazy. Like, it was like some of the best burgers we ever had.
Hey guys, it's Terrence Mann. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Nole Game Day. Go Noles.
Hey, what's up? This is Peter Ward, aka E-Dub, in the house. We're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Nole Game Day. Go live, go Noles.
Hi, this is Charlie Ward, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, Go Noles.
This is Terrell Buckley. You're listening to Hear the Spear, presented by Nole Game Day. No Bloody.
But perhaps better known as the greatest corner to ever step on a football field, Deion Primetime Sanders.
Great Deion Sanders, my brother. What's going on, man? I could wake up to that greeting every day, man. That was awesome.
Hello, Noles fans. This is former Seminole Derek Brooks, and you're listening to Hear the Spear, presented to you by Nole Game Day.
James Wilder Jr. What's going on, James?
Thanks for having me on. SSOD, Florida State or Die, and go Noles.
William Bar None Floyd.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What is happening, guys? This is Logan from Hear the Spear, presented to you by Nole Game Day. We are here the day after the first round of the NFL draft. We're going to talk a lot of NFL draft here. We're going to talk about our personal teams, what we think about it, Roger Goodell, the virtual draft situation, draft picks, of course. We're going to also talk a little bit about Cam Akers. Jacques Patrick will be joining the show to talk about his career a little bit with the XFL, but also his big signing with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that's a bigger signing than what happened last night with Joe Burrow. So we'll discuss that. And then also we'll get into a little bit of basketball and FSU Hear the Spear trivia. Maybe some bad dad jokes at the end. But before we get started, you can listen to this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play. Hit those subscribe buttons. We're also on YouTube, but make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified every time we go live. If you want to rate us 5 stars on iTunes and leave a review, it really helps a lot. But before we get started, let me go and introduce my two guys here on the pod. Dustin Lewis, our lead writer and editor, and Austin Beasy, our lead basketball writer. What's going on this beautiful afternoon, gentlemen?
What's up, fellas? I'm surprised Dustin's awake, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm powering through. I'm here. I'm ready to do some things.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not using Willie Taggart's hashtag do something, are you? Because it's not going to be a good podcast then from you.
I mean, that's my coach, so.
Oh, man. So let's go ahead and say goodbye to Dustin Lewis at the second half of this. But yeah, Dustin, can you please talk to the listeners about, we were really excited about this interview with Jacques Patrick. I was excited about it all week. But you stayed up till what time last night, or this morning, I should say?
About 10:30 or so.
Yeah, and when
AM.
AM. Yeah, Dustin stayed up till 10:30 a.m. And we're recording this at 2 p.m., so he's only slept a few hours. So definitely appreciate Dustin really trying. I don't know, maybe that's what Willie Taggart was doing before his game days, but I really should.
He did a couple of things for his game days. Come on.
What do you think Willie Taggart did before his game days?
Well,
That was a loud silence.
let's not talk about it on the show.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's a few things that we know, but I was going to think like more creative things that he might be doing, like maybe nothing.
I think that's why we all just sat there in silence, because that's what he did.
Yeah, maybe nothing was it. Maybe that was it. But yeah, how's quarantine going for you guys? I know me and Dustin are about to finish up school. I mean, I think Dustin's got another 3 more years, but getting close to finishing up school for at least me here. But how is quarantine going for you guys? We actually had a real NFL or a real sporting event happen in front of our eyes last night, or whatever that was.
The WNBA draft was a week ago, so don't dismiss that, of course.
Yeah, to all of our WNBA fans,
We salute you.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was happening. I'd probably know that a bowling tournament was going on more than I knew that a WNBA draft was happening. So,
Jeez.
Wow. Shout out Kaya Gillespie, though, getting drafted. Anyways, continue.
There you go. Very cool. But yeah, we got a real sporting event that happened in front of our eyes, whatever it was. I don't know what that was, but we had something last night. What are y'all just thoughts about that virtual draft situation? Because obviously they did the best they could. Poor Trey Wingo is hanging in there, having to do all that. I don't know how he's going to last longer and then into Saturday doing this, but it was just kind of I mean, of course it was different, but man, Roger Goodell, phone's getting
the virtual booze.
It honestly went fairly smoothly. I was kind of surprised. I figured one team would mess up or a camera would go out or something. But besides Goodell being awkward with the screen behind him and him changing halfway through the show because he was drunk on tequila.
He was like a robot.
He was. It was weird. But other than that, I thought it went pretty smoothly.
Yeah. What were y'all's thoughts about the depressing, just horrid, sad stories that were said immediately after they were drafted? Like, and
Can't
then
be a first-round prospect without a tragedy.
Yeah, I think there was a cut where before they were talking about the player's dad that was killed at like he was helping a person on the side of the road, and then his dad got killed.
Oh yeah, that was Bizarro Ruiz.
Yeah, and then it cuts to was it John Gruden or whatever, John Gruden's family, and they're all putting their arms up celebrating, like right while they're talking about it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's terrible timing. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Lord of mercy, they got to figure that out. I mean, they can't be. Hopefully, they listened to the reviews from last night because I think it was just a little too much after a while. I don't know if they just asked players to put in their worst memories or saddest things of their life, and so they can talk about it on ESPN. I don't know.
They just need to have Rich Eisen hosting it.
Drafted. Sorry.
Figure it out, guys. We've been doing this for a long while.
I'm saying they just need to have Rich Eisen hosting it. That dude's awesome.
I actually was watching their Twitch live stream.
They did it on Twitch?
Yeah, he was on there with Deion Sanders the whole entire time, but Brett Favre was on there. My boy James Conner. I mean, there was like new guests every 10 minutes. There was Snoop Dogg. There was 2 Chainz. So many Emmitt Smith. Well, there was.
Eisen's just such a great personality that he would have been perfect for something like this because he can play off the banter.
Yeah.
Trey Wingo just kind of sits there, and you're like, "Come on, Wingo, what are you doing?"
Yeah, I'm sure like 50,000 things are going through his head though. It's just tough doing it all on your own and one. I think they had a little bit more help there in the studio. Poor guy's just sitting there having to run a circus by himself. What were you saying, Dustin, before Austin rudely interrupted you?
Well, you're talking about the tragedies and the stuff like that they keep bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
Literally right after Green Bay drafted the quarterback out of Utah State, Jordan Love, they started bringing up how Love's father committed suicide like 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, sweet mother.
Can we give the guys a couple minutes?
No, well, you know, the phenomenal thing was just the beginning of the NFL draft. It took 25 minutes of us. You know, this was supposed to be a distraction from all the craziness going on, the coronavirus, and we're all quarantined or whatever. They kept on just saying this is going to be a distraction. This is going to be a distraction. But then we had 25 minutes of just hearing the same thing about the coronavirus. Like, are we going to talk football tonight, or are we going to run through every quarantine thing that you need to do? Everybody stay inside. All the celebrities that are staying in their multi-million-dollar houses are telling us to stay inside. Everything's going to be fine. We're good. Just make sure you don't go outside. But then, you know, I'm trying to talk football. I've been looking forward to this. I went out and got food after the tornado ripped through Tallahassee. So I risked my life for that Chick-fil-A. I'm here to watch football, talk football. I want my mind to just be screwed up, just all in football, because I love the NFL draft anyways. But at this point, I really need just sports. But 25 minutes of just talking coronavirus.
Yeah, we've heard about coronavirus for a month and a half. We don't need it for another 30 minutes. Just talk football. God.
It got ridiculous after a while. I think Roger Goodell talked about it every 30 seconds. We get it. We know you want to have football, but Jesus Christ. In order to have football, we got to have a draft going on here. Mother. So let's go through a little bit of this NFL draft. So obviously, Joe Burrow is the number 1 pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. I am a Steelers fan, so in my opinion, for me, I'm not too worried. I have to say, I think I'd be more worried if it was Tua. I'm not too worried about Joe Burrow being there in Cincinnati, Ohio. I think he is definitely a talented quarterback, but I don't think it's going to be something that is going to change that organization. I think they got a lot more work to do. But he's going as a number 1 overall pick. And he goes to join. He's joining Jacques Patrick, so who we'll have later on here in the show. Excited for that interview. But what are y'all's thoughts? Kind of just going through Bengals, Chase Young, Aduka. I'm going to be terrible with names, but
no, that's right. Okuda.
Yeah. Kuda Matata.
Oh God.
That was just sitting there for me. Dude. And then number 5 pick, obviously Miami Dolphins are going to go with Tua Tagovailoa.
Wow, you actually said that right.
I think, okay, I'm making sure. That was tough for me. Maybe I should go into TV. But yeah, what are y'all's thoughts on the picks from 1 to 5 here?
I mean, honestly, pretty much the entire top 10 was chalk. There was a couple surprises, like Andrew Thomas at 4. You know, a lot of people thought they would have gone with Jedrick Wells from Alabama to the Giants, but there wasn't really any surprises. There was no trades. Kind of just went how everyone expected it to. And I guess the Isaiah Simmons pick at 8 was a little bit of a surprise too, but we'll get there.
Let's see here, going from 1 through 5. Yeah, not too shocking from that. All right, so the 6th pick. So there was still some speculation maybe Jameis Winston could go to LA and join the Chargers. There's still, they want to keep Tyrod Taylor, blah blah blah, but they end up picking Justin Herbert. So that is scratched. Jameis Winston is not going to California. Both teams have their quarterbacks, and then I think one of my favorite guys in the draft, Derek Brown. I watched him a lot whenever he was playing at Auburn, defensive tackle, nasty guy. I think a lot about Timmy Jernigan.
Dude, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I see like a lot of, he brings a lot of, he's just mean and nasty, and he usually is playing every down with full heart, everything.
I have 2 very bold takes on when it comes to prospects. For defensive linemen, when their best attribute is their run stuffer, you shouldn't take them in the top 10. And that's my thought with Derek Brown. He's a good player, but I don't think he's a top 10 player. And then my other one is you shouldn't take wide receivers in the top 20. But, you know.
Well, you're on drugs. Anyways.
No, there's facts. There's facts to back it up.
Well, you know. You bring those to the table.
I've got the wide receiver facts.
Okay. Well, you wait till we get to the wide receiver part of this, and you can bring out your spreadsheet.
So the wide receiver pick at 22 by the Vikings, that was a good pick.
Yeah, I really like that pick.
Interesting. I mean, it's only 2 picks before you said you should never draft a wide receiver. So
it's funny how it was.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. Sounds good to me. But yeah, no, Austin had to come after me and Dustin, but I'm a big fan of Derek Brown, and he teams up with Brian Burns, who is just getting better and better there in Carolina. So that should be a nasty tandem in there for the Carolina Panthers. And then moving on here, let's see, Isaiah Simmons, also I think these 2 straight picks. And then it's ruined, C.J. Henderson, cornerback from Florida. Jacksonville Jaguars, are they jaguaring again? What's going on there in Jacksonville?
They're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
it was a bad pick.
I don't know what they're doing.
Their second pick was way worse.
Who was their second pick?
Clavin Chasen.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that way worse?
Whoa. No, I like
Josh Allen, who they just drafted. I think he's a good player, but he's literally what they already have.
He is, but he was another guy that I really like. He's nasty.
Apparently the Vikings really liked him, too. They were disappointed when the Jags took him.
Yeah. He's a nasty guy. All right, let's see here. So we got So CJ Henderson, if you're a Jaguars fan, best of luck. Enjoy another season of poor DB play. Jalen Ramsey's not there to save you guys. All right, so the 10th pick, Cleveland Browns got their offensive tackle, Jedrick Wills. Jett, who gives a flying F. Las Vegas Raiders. Here we go. Who thought Henry Ruggs was going to go before Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb?
When it's the Raiders, when it's the Raiders, that's a very Al Davis pick. Even though he's not alive.
What do you mean?
It's a very Al Davis pick.
Ruggs is good.
He's good, but he wasn't the best receiver in the class.
Dude, he was a freak at the combine.
He was.
I can see
it just fits that
like
theme of everyone picking the fastest receiver.
With him.
I think y'all just talked over each other again for the second time.
Yeah, he keeps talking.
I know you're not used to it. Relax.
I know. Austin's like, this is shit.
I love the draft, man. I love the draft.
Austin's coming out of nowhere. You know, he's talking like almost as much as he does about basketball, but not. I mean, obviously not enough. But yeah, Henry Ruggs is fast as a mofo, and I think as much games as we got to see last year. I didn't watch a lot of his games last year because Alabama was out of the top 10, so I was gonna watch a lot of them. But Henry Ruggs is a stud, obviously speedy guy. But yeah, before Jerry Jeudy didn't look so happy after his boy Henry Ruggs got picked. Y'all see him? He just kind of seemed pretty pissed,
Yep.
But the Old Spice robe was nice.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good branding. Got paid probably like 10, 15K for that. Pay the bills, pay mama's bills. But yeah, that robe is pretty sweet. I need to start wearing a robe more often. I feel like.
The crazy thing is, coming out of high school, Henry Ruggs almost ended up at Florida State. I mean, arguably it was down to Alabama and FSU. That was the class that Alabama, they pulled Ruggs, and then FSU got Keith Gavin. So good trade-off.
Successful.
I think we were all happy how it turned out. We would do it again every day.
Yeah, of course. I think FSU fans are really happy that you were bringing that back to them. So,
man, I don't know if Ruggs could have given us that Michigan kick return.
That is. Yeah, it probably would have been better. I don't know if he would have been able to run over that defender, but Henry Ruggs probably would have been to the house. He probably wouldn't have been caught. Before we move on here, we kind of missed Mekhi Becton. Isn't Mekhi Becton? Is that the guy that jumped out of the pool? I don't know. Who was the guy that jumped? Mekhi Becton.
Tristan Wirfs was the one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, we're getting to him. Okay, perfect. But yeah, that Mekhi Becton dude is gigantic. His dad is actually 2 times bigger than him too. So he could be. He comes with 2.
What do you mean 2 times bigger than him? Is his dad 12 feet tall or something?
Well,
he's a big guy.
His dad was. I mean, he took up the couch. He had his own couch. He was gigantic. I think he had to have been like 400 plus, 450 easily. All right, here we go. Dustin Lewis. Ding, ding, ding. You find you get offensive linemen. Huh. That's funny how that works. Tom Brady comes, and you know what? It's time to start getting offensive linemen. How about that?
Yeah, and I read on Twitter that this was the first time the Bucs have drafted an offensive lineman in the first round since it was either 2001 or 2004. Which either way, that's terrible.
This is just ridiculous. What are your thoughts on it?
They got arguably the best guy.
Yeah, they got a stud offensive lineman.
Oh yeah, I think they made a great move. Tampa Bay was originally supposed to pick at 14, moved up to 13, switching with San Francisco to go ahead and secure Wirfs because San Francisco is getting a lot of trade offers for that 13th pick. A lot of people wanted to move up and get Wirfs. Tampa Bay was the one to do it. We talked about it the last couple weeks. Bucs really need some help on the offensive line, need 2 new offensive tackles. They seemingly got one of them last night. We'll have to see how Wirfs turns out in Tampa Bay, but it looks like a good pick for the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. I'm interested to see if Tristan Wirfs is worth it there in Tampa.
You were 0 for 2.
What do you think, Dustin? Is he worth it?
We'll see, Logan.
Let's see here. The 49ers select a defensive lineman from South Carolina, Jamin Claw. Up next, boom, Denver Broncos get their man. They're going to put him with their young quarterback that looks like he's younger than me. He's going to team up with Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver from Alabama, stud
What's
guy.
the quarterback's name?
Drew Lock.
Okay.
Old Drew Lock. Best known for him rapping on the sideline.
Yeah. That was a good video, though.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, he goes to Denver. Atlanta Falcons get a corner from Clemson, AJ Terrell. Good pick there, I think.
Good pick.
Well, I like AJ Terrell, but he was supposed to go late second round, and they got him at 16.
Let's see what they
could have traded back and probably gotten him.
Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, boom. Dallas Cowboys. Wow. Teaming up with Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb is headed to Dallas to join Jerry Jones and his $250 million yacht. How about that yacht that Jerry Jones was doing that in? Because first it looked like a bunker for like an apocalypse. Or it looked like also Air Force One that he was live streaming. And also his kids weren't allowed to get near him at all, which was pretty cool to see and funny. But how about that yacht?
It's Jerry Jones. Looked like straight out of a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's living nice. That's for sure.
Yeah. But which wide receiver to y'all is the best in this draft?
I think Jerry Jeudy's gonna be in the best of those top three. Like he's just got the best route running in the class, and I think that matters more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be Ruggs just because he has so much athleticism, so much potential. If he can put it together and stay healthy, I think he's going to be a star.
The Miami Dolphins are going to go with an offensive lineman from USC with Austin Jackson. The Raiders, interesting here with Damon Arnett, offensive lineman.
Interesting, bad.
From Ohio State. Yep, and then the Jaguars select Clavon Chaseon, which I think is going to be a stud there. I think they're trying to help build that defense. It's going to be stacked with youngins. But
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Austin doesn't like it for whatever reason, but I think it's a good pick.
He's jealous because he didn't get him. He's jealous because he didn't get him.
No, that's not true. I really like who we got, but
every
Jags fan I talked to hated it.
After what Jags fans have gone through over the past couple years, I don't really trust them anymore. So,
yeah, no. Let's see here. Philadelphia select Jalen Reagor, wide receiver from TCU, with the 21st pick. Up next, Austin's team, the Minnesota Vikings, are selecting former 2019 national champion Justin Jefferson, wide receiver.
Trash.
I was thrilled. I was so happy when we got Jefferson, especially because I knew the Eagles wanted a receiver and they went Reagor really early. I thought they reached for him.
Bro, why didn't y'all take Ayuk?
I honestly thought we would if Jefferson was off the board, but I think they like Jefferson a little bit more because he has a very Stephon Diggs-like skill set, and that was the pick we got from trading Stephon Diggs.
So you feel good about it?
I feel really good. I'm
solid.
loving both of our picks, but this one especially.
Okay. Did you cry when Stephon Diggs said bye-bye?
No, I knew it was coming.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. Ooh, here we go. This is another guy that I think is going to be a stud. There's a lot of defensive studs, but Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma. Nasty guy. Big boy. Fast, left to right. He's going to join, which is just stupid to think of because he's an all-around every type of the field, left to right, can move sideline to sideline. He's going to join Derwin James, who also has that same kind of athleticism. That kind of combo is going to be disgusting in LA with Derwin James and Kenneth Murray. Let's see. New Orleans Saints select Cesar Ruiz. They get their center from Michigan. Awesome, cool, thumbs up for you guys. Let's see here. So the 49ers, they traded a pick with the Vikings. They're going to select Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver from Arizona State. We didn't get to see him play, right, guys? Because he
decided to sit out.
Yeah, sissy. But have fun with that, 49ers. Here we go.
Really good player.
I know. I'm just Just giving him a hard time. I'll never have the chance of being drafted, Dustin.
Like,
so
low key, he might end up being the best receiver in the whole draft class.
And he's going to a situation that needs receivers, and he's got a great offensive mind with Kyle Shanahan there. I think he's going to have a good career out there.
good. That's where my future home will be. So I hope he turns out to be a stud. Let's see. Packers. Here we go. Packers select their next quarterback. In the first round, Jordan Love.
This made no sense.
Very surprising.
It makes even less sense
They
now.
love to piss off Aaron Rodgers every year, don't they?
I spent like 3 hours after the draft ended just watching Packers fans melt down on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. If you go watch the Pat McAfee show, the guy who plays Mel Kiper Jr. is a Packers fan. His reaction was so great. He's like, the one guy we could take that would piss off Aaron Rodgers, and we took him.
It's a tough situation, man. I just don't understand them sometimes.
They were a game away from the Super Bowl last year. If they could have stopped the run last year, they're in the Super Bowl, and they go with a backup quarterback that won't play for 3 seasons. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, they had an opportunity to draft a quality player to put around Aaron Rodgers, whether it be on the offensive line or on defense, like you said, Austin. And they went with Jordan Love, who probably I would say is the most polarizing quarterback prospect in this class. He's very Jameis Winston-like. That's what I would say.
I mean, they've needed a middle linebacker since A.J. Hawk left, and they had Patrick Queen sitting right there.
Well, they need about 10 different players.
Yeah, they need linebackers, they need wide receivers, they need offensive line.
Like they could have drafted any
Josh
position,
Jones.
and it would have been better than
probably
Jordan Love.
Shout out to Packers. Thanks for sucking.
They deny a lot more interesting too. It was starting to get like a lot, we were starting to be like, blah, 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 numbers are going down. And boom, Packers drafted a quarterback just to piss off Aaron Rodgers. And, it's always fun to see Aaron Rodgers on Sundays just like so pissed off. And I have a feeling that him and Jordan Love are really going to have a close relationship in Green Bay.
He's going to treat him like family.
Yeah, like he does the best with his brother.
He's going to treat him like Brett Favre treated him.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd probably be worse. At least Favre was a goofy guy. Rodgers is just always
Favre did not like Rodgers because he knew he was there to take his job, and it's going to be the same thing here. It's very puzzling why Green Bay elected to go ahead and do this. Aaron Rodgers is under contract for the next 4 or 5 years?
He is 4 years left on his contract, and they can't realistically get out of it for another 3.
Yeah, I think in 3 years, his dead money is like $7 or $8 mil. But until then, he has a massive contract, pretty much untradeable, and it's just questionable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand planning for the future, but 5 years into the future or 4 years into the future, I don't know.
A little dramatic with some young, good quarterbacks still coming in.
I mean, maybe they thought someone was going to pick Love before they got a chance to pick again. That's the only thing I can think about them making this selection.
And they traded up to get him. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which team.
Yeah, when Green Bay traded up, a lot of people thought that they were targeting Patrick Queen out of LSU, ended up going to the Ravens 2 picks later. And then they picked Jordan Love, and everyone's just baffled.
Hilarious. To finish off the draft, the Seattle Seahawks get a linebacker, Jordan Brooks. Ravens get Patrick Queen, linebacker from LSU. 29th pick, Tennessee Titans select Isaiah Wilson. The Tennessee Titans select offensive lineman from Georgia. I mean, that fits it perfectly. Perfect accent there. Shout out to Fisher Adkins. And then to finish off the last 3 picks, Dolphins
see if you can get this guy's name out.
Noah. Follow me on Twitter at Logan's Twitty. He's a cornerback from Auburn. Don't know. Noah Ijbenagme. I don't know.
Noah Igbenogany.
Igbenogany. Well, you know how to say these names better than me, Austin, because basketball players coming from all over the world, they have the crazy last names.
Hey, well, that's a big one.
It took me 3 years to learn. Took me 3 years to learn about Kamaji, like how to say Kamaji. So
I mean, that's fairly simple.
Kamaji. It took me 3 years.
Kamaji's an easy name.
It took me 3 years.
Fiondu, I can understand.
Yeah, it took a little while too for that one. It takes me a while for a lot of these. All right.
Say this guy's name again, Austin.
Noah Igbenogany.
Yeah, with him being drafted, Marcus Woodson now has a first-round DB on his pedigree.
Ooh, wow. Good note there from Dustin Lewis. Good note. You're doing your homework here. Maybe you're a little bit smarter with only 2.5 hours of sleep.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. Last 2 picks here. Austin. Minnesota Vikings select Jeff Gladney, cornerback from TCU. Go Horned Frogs. Let's go. What do we got? What are we thinking?
Come on, you guys didn't want Stanford Samuels in that spot?
Come on.
I was glad to get him. I think they would have taken him at 25, and the fact that we could trade back, get a couple extra picks, and still get him at 31. Pretty happy with it, especially because he's a very Mike Zimmer cornerback.
Okay, sweet deal. And here's where it starts to get interesting, which we'll get into at the end of this about Cam Akers. Kansas City Chiefs select Clyde Edwards, running back from LSU.
Hilarious.
Interesting they go with the 5th best running back on the board.
Yeah, I'm not too I don't know.
I know a lot of people really
That's
love him
back.
these last couple of weeks, but I didn't get it.
I think a lot of the national championship hype and playoffs and LSU hype videos that they do every other day kind of just got him where he is.
That are all the videos. Speaking of which, the video they did for Burrow was amazing.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
that was phenomenal. They did a good job with their effects and whatever goes into that CGI, whatever the hell. They paid some good money to do that. But yeah, that phenomenal video. But yeah, that's the end of the first round. Pretty interesting. We're going to be at it again tonight. Obviously, my team, I didn't get to talk about my team, but Steelers haven't picked yet, but we are looking for running backs, which we'll get into now. Cam Akers, where are we feeling? Are we still feeling second round, early third round? What do we got? Is he going tonight? What's happening? What's going on? It feels like, I tweeted that there was no running backs taken in the first round, but for my excuse, I was getting into the shower. My power also flicked, so my TV went out, so I did not select. It was the last freaking pick. I was getting into the shower. And of course, they're going to draft a running back, but where is Cam Akers going to go? And we're also going to ask Jacques Patrick here, too, whenever he gets on here in just a second. But where is Cam Akers going to go here? And the second round, third round, what do we got?
I'm guessing early third, just because of the devaluing of running backs that's gone on the past 10 years. I think some of these names are going to drop, and I'd be surprised if he goes second. So I'm saying early to mid third.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction. What Austin just said, early third round or so, maybe late second for Cam Akers, depending on where he's rated at on specific teams' boards. So we'll just have to see how things shake out. Only one running back drafted in the first round. Definitely think we'll see 2 or 3 go in the second round. Hopefully one of those guys is Akers.
I am hoping so. Pretty much as being a Steelers fan, I really want a running back. I know we got James Conner, but he's almost out of his deal. Plus, doesn't stay healthy long enough, and I just don't think he has that much crazy talent. It was nice of him to come from Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh. Awesome story, cool stuff. But got to move on. So I really want a running back. So my favorite running backs and my number one favorite running back is going to be J.K. Dobbins. I really like him at Ohio State. I think he would have really helped them get through the playoffs, the college football playoff, but he was injured for a majority of that game. But he's just so smooth, really good running back. And a lot of good running backs come from Ohio State, very well respected, coached. So I like J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, if Cam Akers is there, if it happens tonight, and Cam Akers is drafted, we have a round 2 pick at overall 49. Then I have a round 3 pick at 102. If he's lasting until the 4th, then I get 124 and 135. So I have a lot of room to work with. So I really want a running back. Also, maybe a wide receiver. Offensive line would be nice, but I think a lot of people are saying Akers to Pitt, but we'll see. I'm interested. I It'd be a cool thing. I mean, I'd definitely chug 2 beers. I've got my beers ready in the fridge. I've got 6 beers, so those will probably go down within a matter of 30 minutes if that draft does happen tonight. For my celebration, I've got to celebrate. So yeah, I'm thinking late. I'm thinking it's gonna be like late second round, early third round.
Oh, okay. So you think what we think? Cool.
Well, no, I said late second round.
That's what I said.
I don't want to copy.
Late second round, early third round.
Well, I don't want to copy you.
You just did.
Well, I wasn't listening, so that doesn't mean I was listening. That doesn't mean it counts. But yeah, all right, y'all. What other players? Let me go through a few names here that are still available for you guys and your teams. Obviously, you want to think running back too, right, Dustin? DeAndre Swift is available. Jonathan Taylor is available. Obviously, Cam Akers too. J.K. Dobbins. If the Bucs take J.K. Dobbins from me, I'm gonna cut their freaking throats open. Jason Licht, I'm coming for you.
Logan, the Bucs aren't smart enough to draft a running back.
You're absolutely correct.
So don't worry.
We're gonna go with another nose tackle.
No, they're gonna draft like some unknown cornerback from a D2 school, like they normally do.
Mm-hmm. That's probably accurate.
The second and third round is where the Bucs screw up every year. So,
do you think the Bucs go Stanford Samuels?
You know what? It wouldn't be the most surprising thing they could do.
How many picks you got tonight, Austin?
We've got 3 tonight. As of now, we could obviously change. So we still have 12 picks left throughout the entire draft. We've got one in the second round. Yeah, wow. We've got 1 in the second round and 2 in the third. Wow. I think I'm selfishly hoping we go Antoine Winfield Jr. just because it'd be nice to have another Winfield in Minnesota. His dad was awesome for the Vikings, but kind of don't need him because he's more of a nickel player. That's kind of what Gladney is. Need offensive lineman. I think we swing a trade for Trent Williams at some point tonight, just because there's no market for him with the Bucs, Jets, and Browns all taking tackles. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be an interesting night for the Vikings. The GM and coach have already said they're looking forward to moving up and down the draft board tonight.
Should be a fun time. I love the NFL draft. So I think that starts at 7 p.m. Hopefully we'll get this podcast out before. If not, then you'll just have to listen to our voices a day later. I don't know. We'll see.
Sorry for disappointing you guys with Logan's editing.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to make things work smoothly and sound good, make y'all's voices not sound girly, so it takes a little while to render that. So I have to make y'all's voices sound a little bit lower. Not easy around here, Dustin. Not easy. So we got about 50. We got a little bit more until we get Actually, we should probably bring on Jacques Patrick right now. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
We got a lot of good.
Make him wait. Keep him in purgatory. We'll get to him when we get to him.
Yeah, we'll bring him in the Zoom chat here in a second. No problem. No worries about it. But yeah, let's go and bring on Jacques Patrick. Just recently signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, my rival. So I got to have a chat with him and make sure he doesn't score too many touchdowns against my boys and Pitt. Also, we want to talk about his time with the XFL, what happened there with the season going down. We're going to talk a lot about his FSU career. We want to talk about a little bit of Dalvin Cook, Cam Akers, also Willie Taggart, the tenure there, Jimbo Fisher, the difference between those two coaches. We got a lot to talk about. Let's bring him on, Jacques Patrick. All right, everybody, we have our guest here on Hear the Spear today. Really excited about this one. Former Nole running back Jacques Patrick. He played in Orlando at Timber Creek High School and then committed to Florida State after receiving offers from Alabama, Ohio State, Arizona, Texas A&M, and definitely a few others. After his time at FSU, he had a stint in the XFL with the Tampa Bay Vipers. The XFL season ended a little bit earlier than expected, but some good news here. Earlier in April, he signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Jacques is on the line with us now. What's going on, Jacques?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We are doing good, man. We just got done with the NFL draft, the first round last night, so we finally get some real sporting events going on. It feels good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I checked in there last night, seeing a lot of guys' dreams come true, man. It's always a blessing, to see those type of things, see guys' hard work paying off. So I'm happy for those guys that, were selected last night, and I'm happy for, the guys are going to be selected over the weekend. Looking forward. I know Cam's probably going to get selected today, so I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. It's always good to see, definitely with their families and celebrating. Obviously, it's a different kind of draft, virtually and all this kind of stuff, but it's always awesome, man, seeing those guys reach their dreams, emotional, always with their families and their moms hugging them. It's awesome. But I want to talk real quick before we get to the Bengals signing. Talk to us a little bit about the XFL and your career there with it a little bit, and how it went. And also, if that really opened the door for you to, get in contact with the Bengals.
My career at the Vipers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome experience from day one. It was first class. Around a lot of great people. I had a great coach in Mark Trestman. A lot of guys, that were there, they're working towards one come and go, and I was the win. And we knew that if we played well, and put a lot of great things on film, ultimately we can get the opportunity to go to the NFL. And I just want to go out there and prove that, each and every snap I played, that ultimately, helped me open the door for, get an opportunity in the NFL again.
Absolutely. And speaking of NFL here, I want you to kind of run through and tell maybe some listeners too, and we got a load of FSU fans that listen, but just how it feels when you're signing those papers. We obviously see the pictures and some videos, but how does that feel? You obviously were working towards that goal of reaching and becoming a professional athlete and football, but when you reach that NFL level, what does it feel like putting that pen to paper? Just go through that with us.
It's like it's just a dream come true. It's like, it's hard to put in words. A feeling like that. Because it's something you worked your whole life for. Just to get to that moment. But you got to understand, like when you get to that moment, now you got to go harder than ever because now you accomplished your dream. So what's next? Do you just give up now that you accomplished your dream? What's the next step for you? And that's how I saw it, man. Like I just put that moment with my family. Just to, the people around me that saw me put all the work in, just to get to that point, and like I said, I'm more motivated than ever now, because I just want to, continue to prove, myself right, throughout this whole process.
I've got a more serious question for you now. And, you're going from Florida. You played in Orlando in high school, obviously Tallahassee. So you're going from Florida to Ohio. Are you going to be able to handle the cold? I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm just wondering, I know how it's going to be cold up there, but are you going to be able to handle that cold? I know you played also at Notre Dame, that away game, and that was freezing cold, but are you going to be able to handle that chill factor?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That comes with the game, I played in, we were just playing in New York earlier in this XFL season. We played in Seattle when it was freezing cold and it was raining, so I'm fine with playing in cold weather. I played in all types of weather. As long as the ball's getting put out there and we get to play, I'm gonna go out there and do my thing.
Absolutely.
Joe Burrow became the second player since 2011 to win a national championship, win a Heisman, and be drafted number 1 overall all in the same season. How excited are you to play with him in Cincinnati?
I'm very excited. He's a great player. I watched him all season at LSU. It's just exciting to see someone's dreams come true. He's a great player. I heard he's a great person, and like I said, it's a guy's dreams coming true. So all you gotta do is tip your hat to that. And he looks like he's ready to come in and work, and I'm ready to do the same. At the end of the day, it's football, regardless of the level, and so it's just a moment we can just tip our hat to a guy that his hard work paid off, to become the number 1 pick.
I have a question real quick for you, Jacques. Who, a lot of players will compare themselves to somebody, but who do you compare yourself to as a running back? Maybe it's someone in the currently playing still, maybe in the past. But who do you compare yourself as a running back to?
I just try to take my different things from different guys. Just because you don't want to, for me, it's just knowing who you are as a runner. and being able to identify that, you know, you just because if you're a bigger guy, you want to make sure you play to your strengths. You're a smaller guy, you want to play to your strengths, you know. So my biggest thing is, you know, identifying who I was as a runner and, you know, playing to my strengths so I can help the team to the best of my ability. You know, there's a lot of guys I watch and study, but in the day, I got to know who I am as a runner and know my strengths.
I like that. Talking a little bit about Cam Akers, obviously drafted tonight. We talked about it earlier, but where do you think that Cam Akers could be selected? I don't know if you keep up. I'm sure you do with a little bit of NFL, but and if they are drafted, when he gets drafted, what are they probably bringing to the table? You know, in Cam Akers behind the scenes at FSU, but what kind of guy are they going to get with Cam Akers?
Me personally, I always felt like he reminded me of Ezekiel Elliott, just the way he's built and the way he runs, and the speed he brings to the game, and his elusiveness. I know the guy's gonna come in and work hard. You know, being who he is, he's from Mississippi. He always had a chip on his shoulder. You know, he got a great family to in his corner, so he's gonna come in and give whoever franchise pick him, you know, all he has. And he's always been motivated. He always wanted, you know, take the extra step. You know, so I'm excited for him. You know, this is an opportunity he always talked about when he first stepped on campus, you know, and probably before then, you know. So it's awesome to see his dream come true tonight.
Was Cam Akers was he a talking kind of guy in the locker room or on the field, or is he more kind of kept to himself? Because from our point of view outside, it seemed like he was more kind of kept to himself a little bit. He'd have his moments here and there, of course, but was he more quiet than anything, or how was he inside the locker room with you guys?
It was a little mixture of both. You know, he spoke when it needed something needed to be said. He said, but you know, he just had a level of respect, you know, amongst the guys that, you know, when he had to say something, you know, guys listened. So that's just who he was as a player and a person. You know, like guys got the ultimate respect for him. You know, and, he always came to work. So I mean, it's hard not to respect the guy that comes to work and, you know, and put the things out he does on Saturdays.
All right, this is going to be a little random, but one thing we like to talk about on Hear the Spear is food. And with that being said, what was your favorite food place to eat at in Tallahassee?
And you gotta watch yourself here. You gotta be smart. You gotta be.
We will judge you.
It's a couple of different spots though. You know, I like Livingston.
That's a good one.
Chubby's.
Okay.
They had this place called Great Place that just opened right before I got left. You know, so it's a couple of different spots. You know, I know like it just depended on the days. You know, as well as during the week. You know, I try to stay in the like the Chipotle's and stuff like that. But like on the weekends and stuff like that, yeah, definitely like a Chubby's or Mary Livingston or a Great Place.
If we're thinking fast food, what are we thinking? We got Whataburger in here. Is Whataburger going to be?
Yeah. Listen, man, I don't know what it was, but ask anybody that was on the Florida State team. That Whataburger on the plane, it was different. Like I don't know what they did. It was crazy. Like it was like some of the best burgers we ever had. Like
no.
I don't know. It was a lot different from what the restaurant gave. In the restaurant, it was fine, but when you got it on the plane, they used to give us to when we traveled on away games. It was crazy. Like ask anybody that was part of the team, they'll tell you the same thing.
How many are you eating compared to Robert Cooper, Marvin Wilson? Like, because you're not small. You're not a small guy, but how many can you take down?
It depends though. If I hadn't had eaten up to that point, I'll take down 2. But if I already, you know what I'm saying, like I had to have one, like regardless if I ate or not, just because of how good they were. Like,
yeah,
I just had to have one. But I've seen guys take down 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
I don't know how they did it. I've seen guys take down 4 of them. You know, so it just, I don't know. You know, I guess it's just based on your appetite at the time. But the burgers were definitely something special on that plane.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Didn't know that. I got a question, real quick, a little bit more serious. But you went from a pro-style offense. Obviously, you recruited from Jimbo Fisher, and then you moved to a spread offense and running out of the gun with under Willie Taggart. Was it a little like disappointing considering you're a big, powerful running back and you're kind of moved to a different scheme, or were you just kind of you had to work with it and go with the flow?
I mean, it was my last year, so you know, I mean, I had to give, I had to put my best foot forward, just try to do the best I can to adjust. And, unfortunately, it didn't go anybody's way. I mean, we didn't have the season that we wanted, but it was a lot of things out of my control. But that's in the past for me now, I got my opportunity. I'm getting my opportunity in the NFL, and that's just part of God's plan, everything happens for a reason, and that's just what it was, at the end of the day, I wish, it would have been a little bit more, it would have been different. I'm sure everybody wish it would have been a little bit different, but that's just how the truth's so, and we can't change it now. It already happened.
Besides just the scheme changes, what were the main differences going from Jimbo Fisher to Taggart?
It was just, it's different. They're two different guys. Jimbo, he's just, at the end of the day, they were just two different guys, so it was a different culture, different type of culture that the two guys wanted to bring. That's basically how I can explain it. I really don't care too much to even reflect on the differences because both of those guys aren't even at Florida State anymore. I still talk to Coach Fisher here and there. I still talk to the coaches that recruited me. So it is what it is. Coach Taggart's at FAU. I wish him well. Coach Fisher's at Texas A&M. I wish him well. They're both great guys. So that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. This one just outside a little bit here. But I've spent time with Jimbo Fisher behind the scenes, up in the moor. But so I kind of feel like I already know this answer. I haven't spent much time with Willie Taggart, but real serious question: who cussed more during practice?
Jimbo was super intense, though. But that's what makes him a great coach, though. He demanded perfection every day. And man, like on that field, it was business, but when it came off the field, he gave you anything and everything you needed, to be successful. So I can always respect him though, because especially as a person, and even as a coach, because we knew what to expect every day from him, man. I just wish him the most success, at Texas A&M. Hope his family doing well. I know his kids, still follow them on Instagram, so I can call him right now, he'll answer, and that's just what it is. He recruited me. He came to my house, he met my parents, so that's just a relationship I have with Jimbo. So that was a good dude, but he definitely cursed more. Jimbo was super intense.
Yep, not shocked by that, picking him. And real quick, did it take a little while getting used to from that culture switch? Because I think we can talk about it. We can watch it. We can see what happened, obviously, between the two coaching changes. But, getting new coaches and all that and switching kind of like a 180, you get a new coaching staff. You have to get used to it, different things they do inside the program, different practice times, all that kind of stuff. Having to get used to that change has got to be a big factor for you guys, and definitely veterans that have already been there and spent time with the previous staff under Jimbo Fisher. But just maybe explaining or talk about, that switch change from the last staff to the new staff and, different practices, maybe less intensity, more intensity. Maybe just tell listeners about that change that you had to go through.
Yeah, it was definitely different, just a little bit less intense. Everything just shifted, just because, the way Jimbo did things and the way Taggart did things are a lot different. Every coach has a different style and different beliefs of what works, and that's why every coach, nobody's the same. If the coaches came from under the same coaching tree, like with Saban, Kirby Smart and all those guys, this is where Jimbo came from. So those type of things would be similar. We didn't go from a guy coming out of that tree. It was a whole different tree. So. In that regard, it was just different, because Taggart was a little bit more laid back. And that's just his coaching style, and it was successful for him, at USF. Unfortunately, that didn't work out at Florida State, But at the end of the day, we still wish him. I wish him success. I have no problem with Coach Taggart. I can text Coach Taggart. He'll send me a text back. So like I said, at the end of the day, like I don't have any animosity towards like anything. any of my time at Florida State. I wish my senior year could have went a lot better, but end of the day, it all worked out for me in the end. Because I'm getting an opportunity. I'm playing professional ball right now. With the Cincinnati Bengals.
I want to get to here a last question for you, Jacques, and we'll get you out of here. But now looking now in the future, current state, obviously no spring ball for Florida State and Coach Norvell. But what are your thoughts so far on maybe what he's trying to do? Maybe you've heard from the inside and maybe some players talking to you and still staying in contact. But maybe you've heard some good things, some a little bit different, but obviously I'm sure you want to see Florida State do well. But what are your thoughts so far on Coach Norvell coming from Memphis down to Tallahassee?
I'm super excited. Like I said, I've been watching. I watch Memphis because they've been playing UCF and the championship games on. And those used to be the only games on. And I used to just watch them and say things he do with that program. Especially with the running backs. I know he's had the last couple of years. Those guys that produce massively. So I'm excited. I see the guys working hard. Coach Norvell, I see. He gave me a follow on Instagram a while back. He's just keeping the former players in the loop and all type of things like that. So I can respect him. I'm wishing him well. I know college football isn't the same when the Seminoles aren't on top. So. I'm praying, that Coach Norvell can get us back, and I know he will, because he seems motivated, and I feel like he wouldn't have took the job if he didn't think he can do that, So, he just got to keep pushing, put the work in every day. I think Florida State will be back where we need to be at, and that's on top very soon.
Yeah, real quick. Also, you got a stable still of running backs at FSU. Obviously, Kane LeBourne. Is your highlight guy there everybody's talking about, but obviously they get a transfer from Texas A&M from Jimbo Fisher, Jashawn Corbin, but also Anthony Grant's there. But overall, maybe is there a player out there that FSU fans that should be excited about? He's probably a young guy whenever you were there, being a veteran, but is there a player out there that you think that a player or two that you think FSU fans should keep a close eye on in this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, guys already know about Kalen, but Anthony Grant definitely. I was there with him his freshman year, and some of the things I see him doing in practice, man. I hate to throw comparisons on people, but it kind of it gave me Alvin Kamara flashes. Just it's the type of things he's doing in practice. From the catching and the running perspective. I feel like if he just works hard, continue to listen to the coaches, his time will come and he'll get the opportunity to show those things on Saturday because the kid's a special player. You just got to stay focused. Same with LeBourne. Some of the things I've seen LeBourne do, it's ridiculous. So I just hope he can stay healthy. He can be able to put it all together. Because that guy got special talent. They both do. I've seen them bring other running backs in. And that's just Florida State. They're always known for having a good back. Hopefully those guys can keep that tradition going. I'm sure they will. Those guys work hard, especially with Coach Norvell and him. I've seen the things, like I said earlier, I've seen the things he do with his running backs at Memphis. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for those guys.
Well, Jacques, we definitely thank you for coming on the show. I will tell you now, like I said, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm going to have to limit you to one touchdown every time you play us twice a year, so you get 2 touchdowns against us. We'll limit that. Hopefully we can come on agreement to that. I won't be pissed off if you get more than 1 touchdown, but we're going to limit it to that. Hopefully we can both sign an agreement on that. But other than that, I'm really excited for you. We wish you the best of luck here from Nole Game Day. We definitely appreciate you coming on here. You've always been kind of engaging with us through Nole Game Day and all that kind of stuff through your career at Florida State, and we definitely wish you all the best of luck, you and your family, and I hope you can handle that cold, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all time, man. Just continue to cover the nose, man. Man, I hope this year is a great year for us, man. I'm gonna be tuned in. I love my nose. I'm tired of people talking crazy about our nose. A lot of people seem to have amnesia, about the past years. We went up 5 years straight on Florida and 7 years straight on Miami. A lot of people seem to forget about those things. But He's gonna get back right, man. He's gonna take the state over again, and then we're gonna take over the nation.
Yeah, I like that. I like that little talk to the rivals there. I like that. Y'all still don't have good thoughts about them, Miami, and Florida. Real quick before we end, this has been a discussion too. Is Clemson a rival to you?
Listen, people always ask me that question. I tell them it was like this. For me, for my time in there, that's how I saw it. It was Miami, Clemson, then Florida.
Oh.
But only reason I say Florida was last because Florida wasn't good when because we no disrespect to them, but we knew we were going to beat Florida. They were. That's when they were 4-8 and things like that. Like we didn't, And Miami is just a different rival because we carry so many guys from Miami. We don't get a lot of recruits from Gainesville, so it was a little different. We got a lot of guys from Miami, so it was always a little bit more that. But the Miami rival was always. I always felt it like more intense. So it was Miami, Clemson, and Florida for me. That's my perspective.
Okay. I see. Well, perfect. Thanks again for coming on here, Jacques. I'm going to try to get this out before the start of the next couple rounds of the NFL draft, but best of luck to you, and hopefully let's get some football. Everybody stay inside so we can have football here in a few months.
I appreciate y'all.
We are back after the Jacques Patrick interview. Definitely thank him a lot for taking time out and coming to hang out with us and talk some Noles and his Bengals signing and all the other cool stuff we chatted about. But let's jump into some basketball stuff here. I know Austin has a little bit here that he's written down on the notes. Dustin didn't write any notes. So, Austin, you take the floor.
I did, you liar.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I really apologize. But y'all go ahead, and then we'll get into FSU, Hear the Spear trivia, and maybe a funny dad joke to end off the podcast.
Yeah, not a ton to talk about, just a little bit of recruiting. It seems like Florida State's still kind of just holding out for when Musa Chise reclassifies and then on his decision. He's been contacted by the G League, like Isaiah Todd and Jalen Green did, but they took their offers. I don't know if Chise will end up taking it because I don't think he's going to get the same offer that either of those two did. But there's a rumor that the NCAA may hold ACT and SAT testings and not have it be a requirement for reclassifications. So that could obviously help Chise out a lot. I think that's all he's waiting on. They've contacted Wake Forest transfer Sean D. Brown, someone the coaching staff's very high on. Every time we'd go to play Wake Forest, the coaches just raved about him and said, this is a guy you've got to worry about. And then they've been busy offering 2021 prospects, 5-star Harrison Ingram, 4-star Ryan Mutombo, son of Dikembe, cousin of Fiondu Kabengele. He's a 4-star center of Atlanta. Josh Farmer, he's a very low-ranked forward out of Houston, and James White, a combo guard out of the Atlanta area. They've been busy offering some prospects. I don't know how many they stand a chance with. I think Ryan Mutombo is obviously a name to keep an eye on, just because the family legacy. He's been to Florida State games before. He's talked with Fiondu Kabengele about the coaching staff, and I think Fiondu even got the coaching staff to offer Mutombo. So I think that's the one name to worry about or to keep an eye on. I think James White is another one to keep an eye on just because he's another Atlanta area guy, and Florida State just recruits the heck out of Atlanta.
And they do it well.
Yeah, very well. I mean, just recently you've got MJ Walker, Devin Vassell, Phil Kofer. That's just what I can think of off the top of my head.
Awesome. That sounds good. Is Dustin dead?
I thought Dustin was going to chip in.
Yes, he really doesn't care about basketball anymore.
No, I was taking this segment off.
That's what happens when you go to sleep at 10:30 in the morning. Like, you actually go to sleep at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I need a quick break.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. Alrighty. So is that all the basketball updates there?
That's all that's going on. It's just a little bit of recruiting. That's it.
Great deal. Sounds good. Let's get into some FSU Hear the Spear trivia. Make sure you guys are looking up your funny dad jokes because no weak ones today. Let's see. What are you leading right now? Are you 5'3" right now, Austin, or 6'3"?
6'4", I think.
6.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Did
I win the last one or lose the last one?
I won the last one.
All right, so then 6'4".
Okay, so pretty much, let's get to some questions. We're still on our series of going through which Nole won what award and what year and all that kind of
Great.
stuff. So yeah, Austin or Dustin's probably going to go down another round. So
Multiple choice, please.
That is what you need in everyday life and school.
Correct.
All right, let's see here. All right, I'll probably edit that out and cut that. All right, here we go. In what year, and I'm going to give you multiple choice, Dustin, don't worry. In what year did Bobby Bowden win the Paul Bear Bryant Award for the Lifetime Achievement? 2006, 2008, or 2010? 5 seconds.
I'm going 08.
3.
I'll say 06.
God, how are y'all able to do that? But 2010.
2010.
Dude, I psyched myself out.
So I don't know what this. I don't know what this is, but I guess there's a Bobby Bowden Award. It's another Lifetime Achievement Award. And what year did Bobby Bowden win this? He won his own award. Bobby Bowden is such a swaggy man. I don't know where I'm going with this. He won his own award. It'd be like Dustin Lewis winning his own Dustin Lewis Award. Like, that would piss me off, but it doesn't piss me off that Bobby Bowden won his own award.
Sometimes I do that to gain more self-confidence. I just give myself random awards.
Yeah, if you got out of bed before.
Exactly. I'll just pin a medal on my chest.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so in what year before Austin's probably already Googled this because he doesn't have his webcam on because he's recording from his Xbox, which actually your microphone has sounded way better than ever, so maybe you stay on the Xbox.
It's because I got a new microphone, yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, now that Austin has had time to Google this, in what year did Bobby Bowden win his own Bobby Bowden Award? 2007, 2010, or 2011?
All right, I'm not going to psych myself out this time. 2011.
4 seconds.
Going 10.
We have competition, everybody. Dustin Lewis is coming back. 2011, Bobby Bowden
That's
won.
because you give him multiple choice. Every time he's won, it's because it's multiple choice.
Hey, you wouldn't have been able to guess the year.
No, I would have said 96.
Exactly. I would have been like 84.
Yeah. No, but you got to understand the competition you're going against, Austin. Dustin is a multiple choice pro.
I'm a really good guesser.
Yeah, because that's about 90% of what he does on his exams.
Exactly. So, like I've got a process of elimination.
When did that start in school for you?
When I was about 6.
Man.
Kindergarten came around. They handed me the spelling test. I was like, "Is this not multiple choice?"
No. And look,
been rough ever since.
And now look at you. You made it to Florida State, one of the best colleges, one of the best public colleges.
I don't know how they let me in.
Well, you are like 4 years late.
Yeah, bro. 6.5 years, and we finally made it.
Well, you can't say that yet. You can't say that you've already made it.
I got one assignment left in my college career.
Uh-oh.
Make sure to turn it in.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've been thinking about coming back for another semester, so I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You just want to come back, or is it just probably advised?
A little bit of both.
Okay, so let's get into our funny dad jokes to end off the podcast. I hope you guys have y'all's ready because I do not, even though I told y'all earlier to have y'all's ready, and I'm the one that don't have them.
Shocking.
But I always not going to rely on Austin's Tinder messages.
You swear I say these on Tinder, and it's just not true.
You don't say them, you text them.
Okay, either way.
Let's see here. All right, go ahead, Austin, if you have any, because we're struggling. I'm really disappointed.
Did you hear about Mr. Cup? That his wife left him? He's a solo cup now.
I told you doing bad ones.
You said bad dad jokes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're all right. You all right.
All right, I'll go.
Okay, Dustin's got us. Here we go.
2 guys walked into a bar. The third guy ducked.
When do you... Never mind.
That's... Come on now.
It's not even a dad joke. It's just dumb.
Oh my gosh, Justin, I found your...
How was yours a dad joke?
Solo cups.
Jesus.
I'm on baddadjokes.com.
All right, I got one. Here we go. How about this one? This is good because spring is here. I get so excited I wet my plants.
This is the worst round of all time.
Well, we went a little rated R last week, so. Anybody else got some more in here that we can really just ruin our listeners and make them never want to listen to us again?
What's Ice-T's gay son named?
Ice-T's gay son?
Yeah.
Name?
Sweet Tea.
Damn it. Yeah.
Oh my. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me.
Oh, I just scrolled past that one, asshole. The Secret Service isn't allowed to yell "Get down" anymore when the president is about to be attacked. Now they have to yell "Donald Duck."
That's a good one.
It's not bad.
Not a bad one. What else does a baby computer call his father? Dada.
No.
Wait. Oh, Data.
No. Where can you find a racist pearl? In the
I don't know.
Ku Klux Klan.
Oh.
This is getting...
With that one. We'll just let that one on the page.
Well, I think, should we end it off on that one? I was getting to a point where...
Probably cut that one.
Yeah. That one, I mean, that's just a joke. Just a joke. I can also get off this friggin' website that has ads of women just showing their cleavage everywhere.
And never mind.
Oh, Austin. What was Austin going to say? Something I would pay to hear.
It wasn't. It's not what you're thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to know. Dustin, do you want to know?
I guess.
Of course,
It's not
Dustin.
worth it. I was just gonna say, and Logan's complaining.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was like that fake ad, like just weird looking ad. She had like a Barbie
Something
doll.
you're used to.
Something fake, yeah, I am. Fake
So
love.
here's another one for you guys.
Oh.
Justice is a dish best served cold. If it were served warm, it would be just water.
I don't understand.
Okay. Just ice.
Justice.
That's how justice is spelled.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that kind of ruined the rest of my day. But you know what made me happy was having Jacques Patrick on the show with us. We had a great time with him. Thank you again, Jacques, for coming on. Thank you guys so much for listening. Good luck to your teams in the NFL draft. Like I said, if the Pittsburgh Steelers select Cam Akers, I will take down those 6 beers. I'll take one for the team for us and drink those beers in celebration mode. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the draft. Next time we talk to you will be the end of the draft, so we'll be recapping all that. We're going to know if Stanford Samuels goes to Tampa Bay Bucks for Dustin Lewis.
Woo!
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's weekend. You can listen to this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, also YouTube. Hit that subscribe button right now if you enjoyed listening, so then you'll just be notified directly to your phones every time we release a new episode. You can follow us on Twitter at Hear the Spear. We're also streaming on Twitch a few times during the week at twitch.tv/Nole Game Day. But yeah, the guys' Twitter handles are below. Go hit them up. And hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's weekend. I'm going to say it twice, and I'm not going to say it again. See you guys.